Child, so we opened the episode with the stud trying to keep Ayana from busting a grape. And Ayana ain't even pretending. She's doing the hold me back, hold me back, hold me back. Girl, boom. You're forcing me to have this conversation. I'm not gonna fight you. I got respect for Deb. That's Deb's family. Okay, girl, we get it. So Ayana and her man go to leave. And her stud go to leave, but Buku runs over to try to get her to squash it again. Remarkable just worried about getting her little EP. She don't want to get dropped from Deb. Meanwhile, across town, Diamond goes to visit the brat to talk about pimping. The brat's sick of they back, forth relationship, and so am I, and I'm only 3 episodes in. So the brat says, look, I don't know if we're gonna do this track with Deb, but let's bring Ree in, you, me, and Diamond. Oh, and now here comes Remarkable. Thank goodness she ain't got that Happy Meal wig on. So Remarkable tells them about the little kerfuffle at the paintball. And she said, look, I ain't apologizing to the heifer again, I'm good. So Brat knows people are going to be bothered once they realize they're not on the project. And they said, well, we could make it an all-female thing, but Brat still don't want to work with Johnny. But now the Brat's wife is vouching for Johnny Blaze. The wife said, look, she's done promo for me. She been to my house. Give the heifer a second chance. You got one. Now we got Deb with Tammy, Walker's wife. And she said, so what's the word on the street about the EP? Deb like, well, you didn't want nothing to do with it. That's right, Tammy does pretend to be a singer from season to season. She said, well, I don't want to be in the drama since you and Brett beefing. But now Ayana come up and she says, I just don't understand, Ree. I saw her at paintball and I asked her, are you ready to fight? And she wouldn't fight me. Because of you. Ayana said, well, look, she started it so she don't get to decide when to finish it. Everybody else was like, well, why won't you accept the apology? Because this is the only plot line she has. Her stud is a snorer. So Deb hot point at me and says, now look, Ayana, you gonna hold this grudge forever and that ain't unhealthy. Besides, I still want to work with Reed, one of the few artists that'll look at me. Ayana gave us Bob Whitfield. I ain't talking to her never, ever, ever. Bow Wow, why you in this rented Bentley? Bow Wow still defending his vision in this Bentley about his Black Book song. So Bow gets a call from one of his producers who's like, okay, glad the comment section's on fire for the snippet, but let's finish this album so we can put it out on time, because I need to be paid. All right, now we got Johnny singing in the booth. She don't sound bad, but I wasn't that blown away. So BT, the radio, comes by and he says, now I heard the Brad and Bow passed on it, but you know I'm always looking for a new track. So now Johnny's upset that Brat don't want to work with her. They said, well, the drama scared Bow off. The business scared Bow off because he knows Deb has sticky fingers. They may be thick like sausages, but they're sticky nonetheless. He tell them, okay, get a little more airplay for your record and I'll see if I can get it on the radio. Okay, now we got the Brat and her wife looking for office space. So now the radio guy calls Bow Wow and says, don't miss out. They really doing this track. And Bow says, I'ma just be happy for him from a distance. But Johnny upset that the Brat won't let her change and is still whining about some crap that happened 4 seasons ago. And Bow Wow says, well, the heifer is from the Shy. She ain't never letting it go. She's on her candy burst. Oh, goodness. Bow possibly has a baby by a stripper out there somewhere, and now this song has brought it to light. You ain't got back child support. So he tell little Lord Short Lord, I guess you better take a DNA. Oh, Lord. So now the Brat's girlfriend done invited Johnny Blaze over for supper at the penthouse. So the wife says, look, you can get through to her because you've actually been through it and had to atone. You could mentor. Oh, the Brat does not want to be bothered with her. So Johnny come in and she said, I smoke weed today, so I'm in a good mood. So the Brat finally sits down and Johnny says, well, it was brought to me that you don't like me. I don't know why you'd care, but okay. And the Brat says, well, I didn't have you on my list of people I want to work with because you're nutty boo. And the Brat says, look, I ain't seen you change. You think this has changed? You basically saying, I don't care what you say. So Johnny starts crying and she leave and the Brat's like, call security. It was so anticlimactic. But we knew she wasn't fitting to bust no heads. So we open with Zach finding out about the coke and the tire. So he's telling Mama Morton to call Andy for him, and she's like, child, you going up the river. Tell it to the DA. She ain't gonna call her, though. She's like, I ain't calling another one of your heifers. I ain't risking my career. Career? I don't know why he's so upset she ain't gonna call. Like, y'all wasn't that close. God, she going on and on. Zach, stop engaging with her before you end up in more trouble. Meanwhile, at Andy's off, Fatima the Stallion is like, okay, I'm heading out. Oh my God, Andy done called Gary. The stupidity don't even shock me no more. Fatima walks outside and gets Zach's message, and she's like, oh, what now? And of course, that annoying lawyer pops up on her in the parking deck. So he's still begging her for a date. And she's like, I know you pulled some stunt, I just ain't figured it out yet. But back with the big bone sissy at the bank, Neck Tattoo's getting tired of being called a B, even if it's playfully. Oh, God. Big bone sissy, what is going on with you? Why you starting with him? Child, Neck Tattoo done had it with the big bone sissy. Neck Tattoo said, I'ma get you fired, cause you see he's got Sabrina snatching his hand. You know she'll let you go. For a straight man. So Sabrina come in and Neck Tattoo head on home. Oh my goodness. He say goodnight. I'm not saying nothing to that B. What? Like, I was liking Maurice's character, but then again, it's Tyler Perry's writing, so you know it had to fart up sooner or later. But Neck Tattoo was smart to get him to act out in front of the boss. So Sabrina worried about leaving him alone because Alonzo might come back, and he's like, Heifer, what you gonna do? I'm good. I don't know, girl. Tyler might get your butt beat again. So the big bone sissy's like, I can tell you got a thing for Neck Tattoo. That's why I'm holding you up. Oh, Sabrina says, wait a minute. You like him. Why? He's straight. For what you too old to be liking straight men. That's some teenage shit. So Maurice fesses up. Oh, God. Really, Tyler? He pining over a man who's pining over Sabrina? Girl. Oh my God, he said I like his weed lips. Ooh, that's a no for me. The big bone sissy says to Sabrina, well, what about Calvin? Child, she don't want a sissy. I think you and Calvin need to get together. You could at least share dildors. All right, at the airport with the Braxton hybrid, now Preston sisters popping up. The Braxton hybrid is still very peeved with them brothers. However, his sister just want to make sure he ain't gonna get his heart broken. So the Braxton hybrid called Brina, who's on her way home, to let her know the sister just swung by. Meanwhile, across town, Andy's dropping by Kern's shop. So Andy hemming and hawing, and she says, well, Gary lost a lot because of me. Like you didn't lose your whole house and almost your job. So Andy says, I think I should be married already. I feel lost. Well, you are lost. You're an idiot. An adultering idiot. Karen said, well, look, I love Zach and I had to move on. Oh, she said you ain't over him. You're using Aaron like I'm using Paris to fill the void. Well, Karen hasn't gotten that void filled yet. So Karen says, hold up. You just want to argue. I ain't gonna do it with you, girl. Karen says, oh, you're seeing Gary. That's what this, So Andy says, well, I'm gonna go home and get some wine. I'm gonna be by myself, though. I need to process this. You see, you were saying that Karen is addicted to the dick. No, you're addicted to the dick, to Gary's dick. And so you gonna have your peaches cobbled tonight. That's what you doing. Oh, Lord. So now we got Fatima the Stallion trying to get Zach out of jail. And who's the officer but Mama Morton? So Mama Morton says, Zach ain't seen the judge yet, but come with me. I don't trust Mama Morton. She said, I'm gonna get him for you. Give me 10 minutes. So now we got Sabrina and Neck Tattoo on a date, and he's like, you sure you single? Because I heard you and Maurice kikiing about Panty Man. So now his homophobia is slipping out, and he's like, why he gotta be so flamboyant? And Sabrina's like, why do you care? He said, okay, well, you know what? Educate me and challenge my opinions. So now we got Mama Morton bringing Zach in to see Fatima the Stallion. So Zach tell her, look, Karen said I stole $5K from her, and now I got caught with a kilo that ain't mine. Fatima believes him. She's like, I bet it was that lawyer. Oh, God, now he gonna blame Fatima? You gonna lose your only friend. She said, think about it. The truck was at my house. I would have gotten arrested too. So after Fatima says she gonna get this together 16 times, we move on to the next scene. She gonna help get him out of prison. So Fatima walks out of jail and immediately calls that irritating lawyer and invites him over for a glass of wine. Meanwhile, across town, the Braxton hybrid gets home and Preston's cooked and cleaned. Oh Lord, and he invited the sister over, and the hybrid ain't here to host. Oh, goodness, but now we're at Andy's house and Gary's popped up. Like a herpy. Gary says, so what do you have to say? I'm having a hard time finding words right now. Tyler Perry, you've had a hard time finding words for the past decade. So he's been able to clear his name, and Jasmine did set up all that fraud, and she finally gave him the divorce. Like an event, a divorce. He still choked you a couple episodes ago. You better leave his butt alone. Oh, God, he's begging her. Please tell me to stay. If you don't get your butt to Boston, go to Bean Town, because you look like you should be selling a bean pie. Oh, he got himself a little counseling, too. I'm sorry, it's not enough. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I know what to say. End scene. He's still an adulterer, and Andy's still an idiot who can't move on from her own shitty choices. So he begging her to ask him to stay. Then he popped down on one knee with a little Tiffany box. He said, look, you can put me on layaway. Just hold on to the ring until you want to put it on. I'd pawn it. She ain't wait 10 seconds before she letting him slip it on. And in a minute, she'll be letting him slip it in. So she don't let him slip it in. She actually walks him to the door. And who's standing there but Karen? You're caught. And that was the episode. Well, I will see you soon for the sissies from DC.